Alright everybody, this is going to be my first impressions on the game. It's Drive Club has gotten a really bad rap as far as people reviewing it, and I think it's user friendly as far as like the casual gamer. It's not a hardcore sim, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, it does have issues as far as the bumper car aspect, especially when you go online, and that's another thing too. The online thing, their servers from day one, they've had issues with. I don't know if you guys know this, but they didn't have the servers tuned in correctly because it got to the point of it could only hold so many players, and when, say for instance, their servers were like at max, nobody else could get in until, say for instance, you were playing, and then as soon as you would log out of the server, somebody else can get in. So it was like standing in line to try to get in. So I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get into the servers, so I ended up playing single player and never got in. Well, 2 days later I finally got in, and they're starting to get things situated. I'm not sure what the status is right now, but they're starting to get things situated, I guess, and I'm sure they're up all hours of the night. Nobody goes home until it's fixed type thing. But that's one of my pet peeves, or one of my beefs about the game, is they delayed the game, like I think it was a year, and everything should be, not saying it should be perfect, but you would think that they would have at least those kind of issues, all set, and not have it be a non-issue, but not so much. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, I do really enjoy it, and I don't know if it's just because I haven't had a good racer on PS4 yet until now, but it's definitely fun to play. Even in solo mode, it's single player, it's fun, and I like the Drive Club aspect of it, where I wish they had more slots available, because 6 people in a club is nice, but 12 would have been nicer. And I heard that they actually had 12 at one time, and then they dulled it down to 6. I don't know if it was because they're afraid that people are just going to level up too quick or what, but 12 would have been a nice round number, but they didn't do it. Another thing that I seen was there was one car. It was a Ferrari. It looked like a Ferrari station wagon. You can buy it at the Sony PlayStation Store, which you unlock a Ferrari station wagon later on, and I just have a hard time donating more money into a game, or investing more money into a game that isn't complete yet, because if you're not able to get online, that's like half the game, because you can earn points for your club while in game and racing human AI instead of the stingy regular AI, computer AI. But one thing I have noticed is when you go through the game, say for instance your rookie class, you have kind of a hard time. It's like a learning curve where you're struggling to get first, which is fine. That's a challenge. It's good. But after you go back through, if you go, say for instance you missed a star or two in some of the races, if you go back after you've already passed it and you leveled up a little bit, and you've gotten, say for instance, your amateur level, and you've done a few races in your amateur level, and you start thinking, well, I'm going to go back and get all my stars, because I'm one of those people, I need to get all my stars. And you go back and it just seems easier. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just because the AI is upgraded when you get into your next class, and you're used to the quicker speeds, but you go back into your rookie class and it's definitely easier. Now, when I'm doing this recording, I'm actually already in my pro class by the time I'm gonna publish it or upload this to YouTube. And I've gone back and I've gotten all my stars in my rookie class, which I should have recorded. But it would have made me look like a real pro if I went back through my rookie class, because I drive so much better now that I'm looking at this. It's just you, and also the thing about online is, I don't know if it's just the nature of the game, but if you have this game or thinking about getting this game, which it's not a waste of money, it's really fun, but just know that it's not a sim. But when you go online, just keep one thing in mind: Bumper Car Fest, because it's gonna be people slamming into people, and there's no such thing as clean racing, which, you know, I'm no angel, but my first race, it was just a Bumper Car Fest, and it's still really, really fun. But people don't like to clean race online for some reason in this game. But all in all, my overall first impressions is it's a solid game. Just, I wish they would have had the servers up and running, and they didn't. So that kind of, I think that left a bad taste in all the reviewers' mouths, because it's not a spectacular game. I was impressed with the scenery, but who has time to look at that when you're racing? I know I don't. It's all a blur. But it feels better than in my opinion, Need for Speed Rivals. They kind of dropped the ball, and I was a huge Need for Speed fan, and they really just kind of dropped the ball on that. So that could have been my good racer for my PS4. But I'm also looking forward to Project Cars, which is closer to a sim, and hopefully people won't be bumper car in it. And also what I was thinking is, since most of these, if it's not a sprint race, it's a lap race, where the most I've seen is 4 laps on a short track, but on a medium-sized track it's 3 laps, and you can't set up your opponents, even in single player mode, you can't set up your opponents and take your time and like make your moves in the best possible position, because you have the I gotta get up front right now, you know, train of thought. So that kind of does not help with the bumper car issues, like kamikazing into a corner. That's another thing too, when you're leveling up, when you're racing other vehicles, you have a lot of cars that are locked that you need to unlock, and until then the other cars are a lot faster. And I've even seen some where the cars actually that are slower than you will slingshot past you and look like they got some kind of turbo or something. Don't like that. I don't know if that's because of the drafting or what, but that's about it for my first impressions. Overall I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.